Anxious to hear what you all think about that. Well, in the kitchen this morning, Executive Master Chef Robert Saliza from City Dock Restaurant. And later on, we're going to be making dessert, which you said is Italian Napoleons, which sounds so delicious. First, though, we're going to start with the seafood casserole. So let's run down. There are a lot of ingredients here today. Let's let everyone know what we're going to be cooking with.
Okay, seafood casserole, it's also called pescatore, or it's also called frutti di mare, which in Italian means fruits from the sea.
Okay.
Everything that comes from the ocean.
I love the Italian lessons we get from you every time you come in.
Education.
Absolutely.
What I did is I already went ahead and popped open the clams, because sometimes clams will take a while to open up, and then sometimes they really don't open up at all, and it's embarrassing, so I went ahead and did it anyways.
Forget the embarrassment, just say you did it. They are tough to open. I mean, I struggle.
Yeah, well, usually they'll pop open with the steam. They'll pop, and that's when you know they're ready, is when they pop open. Try to put all your shellfish in first, because that's what's going to take the time to cook. Your scallops and your shrimp. And
what do you have in there right now?
Right now I've got the New Zealand mussel. It's a green lip mussel. You can tell on the back. You see the green. That to me is the favorite. Some people like something different from Canada or something like that. I don't.
Now, is there garlic in there?
Garlic is in there. Everything is garlic. Everything.
Of course.
Everything.
Of course.
We put 4 of everything when we do it.
Okay.
And we just let that start sauteing. And you could, geez, I feel like I'm home already. You smell that?
It smells
Is that
really
great?
good. I love seafood.
Got to have smell-o-vision here, right?
It'd be wonderful.
I put a little bit of basil in, a little bit of fresh parsley, a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to let that saute for a few minutes so we can get all the seafood that's in the shell cooked, plus the scallops.
Okay.
The sauce now, when you're making Italian sauce at home, whatever kind of sauce you're making, always deglaze the pan. How do you deglaze the pan? You put your garlic and your onion and your little bit of olive oil in it. Let that saute. Then get a glass of cold white wine. The wine that you're going to drink, the best wine that you're going to drink.
Okay.
Dump it in. You're going to get that right away.
Right.
That's glazing the pan.
Okay.
Then once that's done, you can put your tomato paste and whatever you're doing, all your ingredients, put a cover on it. Come back 5 hours later. Don't even have to worry about stirring it.
That's nice.
Because if you put a spoon in it and slide it across, it'll slide. You'll know it's already been glazed. You don't have to worry about it. And your sauce will cook. Usually the sauce takes 4 to 5 hours. The last thing that I'm going to do when the sauce is finally cooked is I'm going to add heavy whipping cream and a little bit more salt and pepper and Parmesan cheese. That will make the casserole that I'm looking for, the brand. And then
you
it's
said
good.
For yours, you already had sherry? You put sherry?
No, brandy's in there already.
Brandy in there.
Yeah, I had to put that in first, and I didn't want the smoke detectors to go off, so I went ahead and did that first, burn it off.
Let's avoid that.
And everything is cooking now, and you can see how it's coming together.
Oh, yeah.
We'll let that cook. Over here, I've got the pan of water that I'm going to shock the pasta that I made this morning. And then after that's all done, it takes about 12 minutes. We'll go ahead and plate it.
Okay.
And it's a real...
And it takes about 12 minutes for all of this to saute
all
and
this
be
to
ready?
get together.
Do you have to do anything with the scallops, turn them, or are they just going to cook with the steam?
They'll cook with the steam by themselves.
Great.
Now I'll go ahead and I'll put the shrimp
so
in.
good.
Does it smell good or what?
And shrimp are pretty quick to cook.
That's
so
why
you certainly don't want to have them in there.
And the crab meat will go in. Now I'll go ahead and put the cream in with the sauce.
Now, about what time should everyone put the cream in the sauce? After the 4 or 5 hours that it's been cooking? Is that
yes, that's the last thing you put in, is that and mix it together to sort of take the color away from the red tomato sauce. Now you're going to go to a pale sauce. You know, but you want to say, because it's a cream sauce, brandy tomato cream, you want to see the cream in it.
Does that make it a little sweeter?
It makes it a little bit thicker. And then when I put the basil in it, and then I go ahead and put the Parmesan cheese last.
Got it.
You never want to put Parmesan cheese on seafood. In Italy, we don't do that, but in the sauce, it's okay.
Okay.
In the sauce is okay. It's like, I don't know if I told you, my father, my grandfather, actually, in Italy, you have 2 homes. You have a winter home and you have a summer home because of the heat. And in the wintertime, you go to the mountains because it's a lot cooler up there. Yeah. So my brother came home from college, and my grandfather took him up camping. And I was in the military, so I couldn't go. Thank God I couldn't go. And they went camping, and they're laying out, and they put the tent up, the sleeping bags. 10 o'clock, they went to bed. And about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, they both woke up. And my grandfather says, "What do you think?" He said, "Well, I think how beautiful the stars are, the galaxies, how beautiful they are, how clear it is outside." He says, "Grandpa, what do you think?" He said, "What do I think? I think somebody stole our tent."
Oh, gosh. You know it's always going to have a great punchline whenever the chef is in the kitchen here, don't you? Why don't we head right over on that note? We're going to be doing some dessert in the next segment. We'll ship it on over to weather. What do you all think?
Hold on. Dessert, chocolate?
Napoleons.
Napoleons. Chef Rob, we love your stories and we love your food. That's what we'll be talking about, by the way, here on the couch.
Hands off. Katie.
Stay away from
Hands
the dessert.
off. Hands
But
off the dessert.
it really looks
John
good.
Cass,
later.
John Cass got dibs on that.
That's right.
And we are in the kitchen this morning with Executive Master Chef Robert Saliza from City Dock Restaurant. We just worked on the seafood casserole that we have set aside. We're going to plate that a little later on. But now we're going to make the dessert, which is the Italian Napoleons.
Yes. What I've done first is this is your puff pastry that you can buy at any grocery store. You lay it out, put it in a sheet pan, put another sheet pan on top of it, and then put it in the oven for about maybe 15 minutes at 350. The reason for the second pan on top, so when it rises not more than a half an inch.
Oh, okay.
Or else, if it doesn't, it'll be way up in the air, and you won't be able to control it. You know, so this is why we do it like this. As we did before when we made the tiramisu, I'm making the zabaglione, which is the half a gallon of milk, 24 ounces of instant pudding.
So the half a gallon of milk is already in there.
Already in there, 24 ounces of instant pudding. And I'll mix that together.
And what kind, you said what kind of instant pudding?
Vanilla instant.
Just
You
vanilla?
can buy it anywhere in the stores, any stores. And with this instant pudding, you're saying, geez, it's awful watery, but as it sits, it starts really getting thick. I'm putting in now mascarpone, and usually put that on your whip and stir it with your whip. If you try to just drop it in, and you're going to have lumps all over the place.
Okay.
So if you just let the whip take care of it, it'll blend in as it's going. The last ingredient that I'm going to put in is a Marsala wine. And that's by flavor or by choice. You don't have to go crazy with it. That's more than enough.
Okay.
Just to give it the
eyeball
flavor.
that.
Just usually about a couple of shot glasses is fine.
And for those who don't know, mascarpone, what exactly
Is that
is
Italian pastry cream?
Okay.
Yep.
And you can get that anywhere as well.
Any store. One of the better brands is Sargento. It's really nice and creamy. It doesn't crack up or break up when you're working with it. And it's nice. I mean, it's something that you really want to have in your house all the time. You can use it for anything.
Do you think this is a great summertime dessert, or is this year-round for you?
Anytime. Usually mostly for the holidays. As you can see, what's happening now is starting to get real thick, and it's killing my arm, but that's okay.
Do you want me to do it for
No,
a
it's
little
okay. Usually Cheryl's over here doing this, but she didn't do it this time. She was here for the tiramisu.
I would like to say that I offered, and you said no. I promised I wouldn't mess up the whisking. I swear. Eric says he doesn't believe me, but I swear, folks, I do know how to do some of this stuff. A little bit. I can pour a mean bowl of cereal, so I might be able to whisk too.
And that's basically it. It gets a little bit thicker as we go along.
Yeah.
But then, of course, the preferred method is to maybe do it with an electric mixer, but you don't have to. This will work fine. Can I get that spatula, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There you go.
And what I'm going to do now is just put a light coating and make layers. Just layers, layer it on.
Now, would you normally want all of this blended in with the mascarpone there, or can it be?
Well, you want it so you got a little bit of texture with it.
Okay.
The second piece, always put it face down so you have a flat surface to work with. And you're building it up.
And this is so simple. It's so nice to be able to have these recipes that folks can easily do at home.
This is home.
With their families.
This is at home, and it's really nice. And you'll notice that...
so you've done three.
This
three
is
levels
number
of
3.
these. Okay.
Now, the top is going to get the whipped cream. We won't put anything more on than just the whipped cream. And I'll just pipe it on.
Okay. You do it so well.
Well, it's
You have some experience doing that?
35 years of squeezing.
Just a little.
35
Just a little
years.
experience.
It was like when I was 16 years old. I asked my dad if I just had gotten my license and can I go ahead and drive the car, and he told me no. He said, let's wait 90 days, and after 90 days, he says, well, see how you're doing. He says, well, I want you to do 3 things. I said, what's that? He said, I want you to improve your grades. He says, and after you improve your grades, I want you to read the Bible every night, and then I want you to cut your hair. Well, after 3 months, I came back, and I said, Dad, I said, can we go ahead and discuss this now? I said, well, he said, this is chocolate that you're putting on. He says, your grades are great. He says, you read the Bible every night, but you didn't cut your hair. I said, Dad, that's not fair. I said, Moses has long hair, Samson had long hair, and even Jesus had long hair. He says, that's right. And every place they went, they walked.
Well, you can't argue that point.
And there it is. It's
That's
all ready
lovely.
to go. And we'll put it in the refrigerator for about 12 hours, so it'll set up. and then we'll cut it, and that'll be ready to go.
That smells delicious.
Isn't it great?
So coming up then, well, first of all, actually, you wanted to talk about some of these.
Yeah, this is so if you don't have nothing to do next Tuesday or the Tuesday after or the Tuesday after that, this is just to entice you to see what we're going to be making, and maybe you want to stick around and say, geez. Now this is the bow tie, which is made out of the same puff pastry that I made here, and then I put the rock sugar on it and baked it one more minute.
Oh, great.
Amaretto cookies and the pinoli cookies.
See, so you certainly want to come back, folks. Every day we
Tuesday.
say come back. Tuesdays are super special, too. So coming up, we're going to plate the food.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking some wine pairings, which a lot of folks always enjoy. So.
And if we have any left over, we have something for the children that we make. It's just get the little cups and you put Reese's Pieces, Snickers, M&Ms, and you make it. I mean, so they don't have to get into this. They've got their own little treat.
Little dessert shooters
yes,
there.
And that's it.
Very nice. All right, Eric and Cheryl, don't get jealous. You're going to be allowed to have some too. Maybe we'll give you the little kid version.
That would be just fine.
Did you guys see Katie's face when those desserts came out? She was wringing her hands. Like, I can't wait till this camera's off me so I can have.
I mean, you should smell them standing right here. It's hard not to just stare in right. Everything here just looks so amazing and smells so good. We're in the kitchen this morning with Executive Master Chef Robert Saliza from City Dock Restaurant. We started with seafood casserole. We're going to get to this dessert now, the Italian Napoleons. So, and also here is Joshua Ha, who is the food and beverage manager at City Dock Restaurant. So why don't you come in first? We'll talk about the wine pairings for the dinner and dessert, which is obviously exciting. So what do you have for us this morning?
Well, to go with the seafood casserole, pescatore, we brought the Bergens Albarino from Spain. Great white wine, truly a wine of the sea. Goes so well with the mussels, the shrimp, the clams, scallops. It's deep, it's chewy, great tropical fruit aromas. Take a little smell here.
Okay. And you had said that normally people would think that you might not want to pair white wine.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, geez, tomato sauce, tomatoes in your sauce. A white's not going to go with it. Guess what? This wine's going to pair so well with this casserole.
That's
really
good
works
to know.
Fantastic. So you don't always have to go with red. So.
I mean, don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to transition. Try something else. And you have this too.
Also, yes, we brought the Montaliana Prosecco, which is a dry Italian sparkling wine, and I selected this one for this dessert specifically because it's going to cut right through that creaminess in it.
Okay.
And so you can also not only enjoy the dessert at the same time, but enjoy the Prosecco along with it, which is an important part of wine pairing, is to have it both. In addition, this week, if you join us at City Dock, we do have both these wines on special for $6 a glass and $24 a bottle, which are fantastic deals, so you can enjoy them with your dishes.
That's wonderful. Josh, thank you so much. That's great to know. And now also good to know is how to plate this wonderful dish.
Okay. What I've done is I've shocked the pasta. In other words, brought it back to the temperature of actually as if it was just cooked.
Right.
And remember that secret I told you a couple weeks ago, when you're making pasta, don't put anything in the water except salt. You put the butter and the olive oil, like some people do, and the sauce is just going to run all over it because you've coated the pasta. And it really is bad. And then you just go ahead and enjoy yourself as you're plating. As you can see how this is going to taste. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But
smells so good.
Yeah,
Note that I stepped back because I chose to wear white pants today. I'm not sure why. I knew where I was going to be.
Just try to make it look as healthy and as appetizing as you can. I know John Cash just came in and he saw this and he smelled it probably from the weather room and came right over to see it. How it looks.
It just looks delicious.
And there it is. And I'll go ahead and just a little bit of basil on top. There it is. It's done. Ready to eat.
And we're set.
We're set,
You
yes.
can do it all at home. All right, Chef. Thank you so much. Thank you also for the wine pairings. We appreciate it. Getting ready to eat, folks.